Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Assistant Chief Armando Tejo speaking on behalf of Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. We're here today to announce the end of a major complex auto theft ring that has victimized dozens of dealerships and scores of unsuspected buyers. The Harris County Sheriff's Office Auto Theft Division worked this case for 2 years. The investigation culminated in indictments that were handed up last week by a Harris County grand jury. I want to thank our committed investigators whose work we are here to recognize. With that being said, I'd like to invite Captain Jesse Inocencio to give an overview of Operation Slingshot.
Hello, good morning. Captain Jesse Inocencio, Jesseinocencio. First, I'd like to commend the Sheriff's Auto Theft Division for their hard work and dedication on this case. They spent numerous hours working on this case, utilizing high-tech crime techniques and just good old-fashioned police work in bringing this crime ring to justice. This crime ring was responsible for stealing vehicles from dealerships in the Greater Houston area and selling them on social media. And the total number of monetary losses this year is well over $1 million. Last week, the Harris County District Attorney's Office returned 17 indictments on 9 individuals in this auto theft ring. And then last Friday, August 4th, we executed these arrest warrants and were able to arrest 8 of the 9 individuals. We did a simultaneous operation along with our Harris County Sheriff's Office High-Risk Operations Unit, our Crime Control Units, and the Texas Department of Public Safety SWAT team. So I do want to say that one of these individuals is still at large, and we urge him to turn himself in because they don't want the SWAT team coming after him. Also want to introduce Sergeant John T. Stamper. He's going to go into the details of this operation.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant John Stamper, Johnstamper. I'm a sergeant with Harris County Sheriff's Office Auto Theft. The significance of this investigation is the theft itself is very unique. We belong to a grant statewide. We talk to other investigators, and all over the state of Texas, they're having this type of theft. What it is, people are stealing vehicles off the dealership lots and then selling them on social media. What makes it difficult is the person stealing the car is not the person who's selling the car. We've collaborated for the past 1.5 to 2 years with other agencies on how to combat this. How are we going to do it? In early March, we were able to narrow down some suspect information with the help of the tax office, Harris County Tax Office, and also with the National Insurance Crime Bureau. We started focusing in, narrowing our suspects, and ultimately we did a division-wide surveillance sting. The posters that are created are a snapshot of what we were working on, and the intent of the poster board was to get everybody on the surveillance unit an idea, hey, this is what we got. It was to pass a lot of information on real fast to a lot of investigators. So with this surveillance we ran, we were able to link the suspects selling the vehicles to the suspects stealing the vehicles off the lot. And that come to a close Friday when we executed warrants on 3 houses. And I may have went kind of fast, so miss anything?
Can you talk some, Sergeant, about who, was there a particular group that they were targeting in their sales?
Right, so like I said, 2-year investigation, this is something we've been dealing with. Our agents, or our unit, we get cases from the front half and from the back half of the theft. If a dealership notice a vehicle gets stolen, they obviously report it, we get the case. But we also get a case when an innocent purchaser realizes they've bought a stolen vehicle, or they go to the tax office and find out it's stolen. An innocent purchaser is a term auto theft investigators use across the state. What that means is somebody does their due diligence in buying a vehicle online, however, it's still stolen. that they're not in on the theft. They're really innocent purchasers. And unfortunately, when that happens, the vehicle is seized, and that innocent purchaser is out of money. Over the past 2 years, we've interviewed innocent purchasers, and we've also initiated some operations, some stings on people selling these online. Through our investigation, we learned that this group that we're working on targeted recent immigrants, if you will, thinking that they're not going to report it. They'll just be out to $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 cash. Am I good on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good.
So our next speaker is Samuel Morris.
My name is Samuel Morris, M-O-R-R-I-S. I'm a special agent with the NICB, National Insurance Crime Bureau. My role in this investigation was to provide support and assistance to the auto theft detail. We provide assistance in many ways, whether it be data analysis, investigation techniques, new techniques, vice versa. And we will continue to work with law enforcement as we provide those resources and intel that will help bring these investigations to conclusion. Not only with Harris County, but all our law enforcement partners and member companies.
And from the Harris County Tax Office, Mr. Bill Smith.
I'm Chief Bill Smith, SMITH, with the Harris County Tax Office Special Investigation Unit, under Tax Collector Harris and Harris Bennett. And we run into the situation where the innocent purchasers go to register their vehicle. It's noted the documentation that they present is fictitious, and at that time the investigation starts. We either get the vehicle seized at the location where they're at, or we assign it out or get agency to go out and recover the vehicle. And from that point on, it's followed up by Sheriff Department. The coordination of effort between our office and the Sheriff Department, and Houston Police Department, and the rest all contributes together, combining the resources and to make these kind of cases significant cases and successful as the Sheriff Department has done this time.
Sergeant Stanford, could you come back up and talk some about red flags that folks should look for as they're buying a vehicle?
Right. So the purpose of this press conference, obviously, to let the public know that we took down a major organization that's doing this. Two is a public service announcement. You know, I'd be very leery to do any kind of major transaction off a Craigslist posting, especially vehicles. We have, Sam, do you have the list? He's got a list of what we're putting out. If you do conduct a purchase, do it during normal business hours at the court, at a courthouse, or at the tax office, and then you can go right in with that person and register the vehicle at the same time. Do your own investigation on the VIN prior to purchase. There's a lot of free tools. Google is a good one. There's some paid sites out there that you could do your own research on the VIN. If you don't meet at a courthouse, take good pictures. Take pictures of the seller, their identification, the vehicle they arrived in. If the deal seems too good to be true, walk away. That's probably the best statement out of all this. If it's too good to be true, it is. And I can show you about 29 people who will testify to that. Good?
You want to open it up to questions now?
Any questions?
Yes, were they stolen during the night? Were these ones where they attempted to drive them to look at them first, or what?
So, like I said, what you see on these boards is a snapshot from March to June. These vehicles, every one of them were stolen during business hours in broad daylight while the company was open right in front of everybody working at the business and customers.
Well, tell us about the vehicles. What kind of vehicles do they wear?
All vehicles were GM models, 09 to 14, GM trucks and SUVs to include Silverado, Yukon, Tahoe, the GMC brands, and then Escalade.
Now, you said those vehicles were sold on social media. They were
Correct.
sold-
Craigslist and OfferUp specifically.
Here in Texas or city of Houston or?
Some vehicles were sold online outside of Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, but the majority of them were sold here locally in Houston.
So how were you able to figure out that these were the suspects?
What we did is I've got 2 case agents assigned to this case, and we made a decision with the unit. Hey, we've got to do something about this. And how they did it is old-fashioned police work. We went back to the dealerships, back looking at video. We develop a new suspect. We go back, interviewing, showing photo spreads, that sort of thing. That gave us the ability to identify suspects. When we ran a surveillance mission, that's what tied everything together.
So you said showing pictures, do they already have previous records? Some of these?
Correct.
Okay. So
Everybody here has been charged previously, yes ma'am.
So that kind of helped narrow it down.
Absolutely.
Too.
How many cars are we talking? Can you sense how many cars are sold?
This, well, we've got, related to this case, without a doubt, we have 29 vehicles. I personally think you could probably triple that in the same amount of time.
Buying stolen merchandise is illegal. Is buying a stolen car illegal?
Buying a stolen car is not illegal. The issue is no person can buy interest into anything stolen. You can't buy interest in it, so therefore you have no ownership, you have no right to it. So it's not illegal to buy something stolen. It's like it doesn't exist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You lose your money.
Yeah.
Monetary value.
Right. You can't invest money in something that's stolen and keep it, whether it's a TV or a vehicle. You cannot invest in.
Why do you think recent immigrants were targeted?
I believe, well, I don't believe, I know, through interviews with these people, it's because they thought that they were less likely to report it to law enforcement. I think our unit has done a pretty good job of overcoming that hurdle. We want to put these people in jail.
The people that you have arrested so far.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they both on the sale end and the stealing end as well, or?
Right, so some of these people, I'm not going to go into their individual roles, but you have people that are overseeing the whole operation, and you have people that are committing the theft, you have people that are committing the sale. And the theft includes removing the vehicle, how they do that, the tools they use to do that. The sale includes fraudulent titles, fraudulent paperwork to make the sale look more legit.
How were they able to acquire those titles, those fraudulent titles?
We're actively working on that now.
Is it difficult to steal a vehicle off of a lot?
Very difficult.
But they found a way?
They found a way.
Can you share that way? Is that...
They had a series of processes. Make a long story short, they were able to create a key.
Wow.
So these
And I'll
guys,
leave it at that.
So these guys knew what they were doing. They were highly experienced.
Yes, sir, they did.
What should you look for in a fraudulent title or in a title so to know that there's...
I think Chief Bill Smith would probably be better to answer that.
There's different built-in safety devices in a title itself, and the clerks at the different branch offices at the tax office are trained to look for different things on them. As soon as they recognize one thing wrong with them, they get sent to my office at the Special Investigations Unit, and then we have in-depth processes to go through the title to see any kind of alterations that have been made on it, anything that's not right, and can prove that it is a counterfeit or altered title.
Anything that the public can notice really quick, or is it?
Best thing I can tell you is that the most prevalent thing that they could look for is any kind of alterations on that title at all, erasures, scratched out names, anything else on there that doesn't look like it's been original on there. And other than that, we'll do the rest.
And so a legitimate seller would go with the person to a tax office and wait while they get.
That's the safest way for both people.
And you mentioned there was 29 vehicles so far. Do you think that there might be more?
Yes, ma'am. I was talking to Chief Smith earlier. A lot of times dealerships, especially in Harris County, because it's so big, they can't do inventory every day. So sometimes there's a lag time on when it gets reported. Sometimes he knows about it at the tax office before I do. And we have some of those. He's got 2, I got 2. So yes, ma'am, that number is going to grow.
But it's at $1 million right now. In
Yes, ma'am.
One quick question.
And I'll add to the title question. You know, first of all, I don't suggest buying vehicles off social media. But if you do, just look more than just a VIN. We have talked to innocent purchasers who they said, hey, you know, I matched the VIN to the vehicle I was buying. And my next question, did you check anything else? No. If they would have looked a little harder, they would have saw that was a PT Cruiser and not a Chevrolet truck.
Another thing, another tip, maybe pay with check instead of with cash. I don't know.
Yeah, all these were paid in cash, and through the communication between the buyer and the seller, that was the only way. So yes, if you want to safeguard yourself, the best way is meet with the person at the tax office or at a courthouse and do the transaction there.
Besides the arrest so far and the person, of course, you're looking for, do you anticipate other suspects out there tied to this ring?
Yes. We're working with other agents. This is a cell. There's other cells working with this cell and connected to this cell. We're trying to get, and that's why some of the information is redacted on the posters. We're getting that information out to other agencies, Montgomery County HPD on the very soon, but ultimately other agencies all across the state. Yes, I do anticipate additional arrests.
And also, I'll say sorry, now it's not a lot of questions, but it seems like this all happened in a very short span of time. I mean, how aggressive were they in this?
And like I said, this is a snapshot. So this, yeah, that's why we did do a good job. And the public needs to know, and that's the intent of this press conference. So yes, it's big.
So we're going to transition to Spanish now, and if there are follow-up questions afterwards, we can do them offline.
Buenas tardes y gracias por acompañarnos. Soy el jefe asistente Armando Teo, hablando en nombre de Alguacil Ed González. Estamos aquí para anunciar el fin de un importante y complejo anillo de robo de autos que ha victimizado decenas de concesionarios y decenas de compradores confiados. La División de Robos de Autos de la Oficina del Alguacil del Condado de Harris trabajó este caso por 2 años. La investigación culminó en acusaciones que fueron entregadas la semana pasada por un jurado del Condado de Harris. Quiero agradecer a nuestros investigadores comprometidos, cuyo trabajo estamos aquí para reconocer. El gran jurado devolvió 17 acusaciones contra 9 sospechosos en una compleja operación de robo de vehículos organizado. 8 de estos 9 sospechosos han sido arrestados. Estos cargos criminales incluyen la persecución y el crimen organizado, robo, lavado de dinero y hacer declaraciones falsas para obtener el crédito. Algunos de esos cargos llevan castigos que incluyen la posibilidad de la vida en prisión. La semana pasada, las órdenes fueron atendidas en 8 localidades y en el norte del condado de Harris. Nuestros investigadores encontraron equipos, materiales y herramientas para crear llaves de vehículos. También encontraron títulos abiertos de vehículos y otra documentación usada para vender fraudulentamente vehículos robados. Nuestra investigación encontró que estos criminales estaban dirigidos a miembros de la comunidad latina del condado de Harris, vendiéndoles vehículos robados a través de medios sociales en Craigslist y OfferUp. Y una de las preguntas que tuvieron ustedes, ¿quién eran las víctimas? La mayoría de víctimas en esta investigación eran personas inmigrantes de otros lugares, otros países. porque ellos, los sospechosos, ellos saben que los víctimas no iban a reportar este crimen. ¿Hay preguntas?
¿Cómo se llevó a cabo esas actividades?
¿Cómo?
¿Cómo se llevaron a cabo estas actividades?
No entiendo la...
How was this crime being done?
Ok, yo entiendo. Pues los sospechosos fueron los dealers de los autos y robaron estos carros en el día, en la noche, en diferentes tiempos para robar esos vehículos. Y también hay veces que ellos encontraron una manera para hacer las llaves para estos carros.
¿Qué puede hacer la gente para evitar ser una víctima?
Pues tienen que estar abusados. Craigslist y OfferUp no es la manera para comprar un carro. Tienen que tener mucho cuidado cuando están comprando en estos carros, y también ellos tienen que mirar a ver qué clase de papeles y documentos que tiene una persona cuando están vendiendo un carro.
¿Por qué la comunidad hispana era el target de estos individuos?
Pues, mira, ellos saben, los sospechosos saben que la comunidad hispana no van a reportar porque les tienen miedo a reportar a los oficiales y los policías. Pero nosotros estamos aquí para decirle a la comunidad, tienen que reportar el crimen. Tienen que reportar el crimen. Hay cualquier crimen, tienen que reportar, por favor.
Yo creo que ha repetido en varias ocasiones el estatus migratorio de cada persona. Es importante que en este caso también se aclare que la situación migratoria importa o no importa para demandar o hablar de un caso como este.
Pues es importante. Como le digo, tenemos que trabajar juntos y tenemos que trabajar con la comunidad. Es importante que ellos están reportando esos casos, varios casos de crimen para los policías y la oficina de nosotros.
Pero al reportarlo, significa que mucha de esta gente no tiene documentos. ¿Tiene algo que ver con inmigración si lo reportan cualquiera?
Eso no tiene nada que hacer con nada. Ellos tienen que reportar. Nosotros, si hay un crimen, nosotros no estamos preguntando qué clase de dónde viene una persona, si eres inmigrante. Nosotros necesitamos que ustedes reporten el crimen para nosotros hacer los arrestos, por favor.
¿Qué otros consejos puede dar a la comunidad para que no caiga en las manos de estos criminales?
Pues hay muchas cosas, como los investigadores han dicho, y la oficina de Tax Assessor, tienen que ver los papeles, los documentos que una persona les presentan. Tienen que tener mucho cuidado a quien está trabajando con ellos, y lo más que tengan cuidado. Si una persona cree que esa es una compra buena, a veces no va a ser una compra buena.
Your name and your title again?
Armando Tello, T-E-L-L-O,
And,
Assistant Chief. Any other questions for
Let
me?
me ask you one. The charges, felonies, and do you know the range if they're convicted?
Sergeant Stamper?
8 of the 9 were charged with organized crime, theft, felony, over a million, right? The second charge was organized crime, money laundering, and that's also a felony. I think the punishment's up to life in prison. One person did have felony false report to obtain credit.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.